For millions of immigrants, Ellis Island was the gateway to America. For many, it meant hope, but for others, it meant humiliation, sickness, and even death. Between 1892 and 1954, 12 million people came through Ellis Island. Most were allowed in. But this place also had a darker side, where fear of disease and strict rules meant your entire future could be decided in just a few minutes. One boy's story shows how harsh it could be. His name was Fiorello. He was 12 years old, from Italy. After weeks on a crowded ship, Fiorello finally saw the Statue of Liberty. He thought he and his family had finally made it. But Ellis Island wasn't freedom. It was a courthouse where doctors were judges, and your freedom was on trial. Hundreds stood packed together in giant rooms, shuffling forward step by step while doctors scanned their faces for signs of illness. When it was Fiorello's turn, a doctor pulled him aside. He gripped Fiorello's head, turned his eyelids inside out, and searched for tiny scars, a sign of trachoma, a contagious eye disease that could cause blindness. The doctor found what he was looking for. He marked Fiorello's coat with a single letter in chalk. That mark meant only one thing: deportation. Fiorello was sent back to Italy, alone. His family stayed in America. He became one of the 250,000 people, about 2% of the 12 million immigrants, who were rejected and forced to leave. While Fiorello's experience was unfortunate, he actually made it home alive. Others never left at all. Ellis Island wasn't just a processing center. It was the largest U.S. public health service facility in the country at the time. But they were never built to handle the sheer number of sick immigrants pouring through the island. Thousands arrived ill after weeks at sea, and the hospitals were constantly overwhelmed, understaffed, and under-equipped. More than 3,500 people died here. Children were especially vulnerable, falling to measles, diphtheria, and scarlet fever. Adults died from tuberculosis, pneumonia, or typhus, sometimes diseases they carried from the voyage, sometimes ones they caught in Ellis Island's crowded wards. To understand how bad it was, listen to the words of a nurse who worked there.
Today, we admitted a group of children from Eastern Europe. Many arrived healthy, but the crowded dormitories and poor ventilation have made it easy for measles to spread. Within days, several have fallen dangerously ill. We do what we can, but our wards are overwhelmed. There are not enough beds, not enough nurses, and certainly not enough medicine.
The hospitals were supposed to save lives, but for many, they became places of isolation. Sick children were illegally separated from their parents. Many immigrants died alone, unable to speak the language of the nurses or doctors around them. When someone died, their body was ferried quietly to the mainland, often tagged with a number instead of a name. Poor families couldn't afford burials. Many were placed in unmarked graves in nearby cemeteries. Death wasn't the only thing people feared on Ellis Island. The waiting broke people too. Suicides were not unheard of. In a few instances, people jumped into the harbor rather than be deported, drowning shortly thereafter. Ellis Island is often remembered as a symbol of new beginnings, but for thousands, it was where dreams ended. 12 million people passed through its gates. Most found hope, but 250,000 were sent away, and thousands died on the island itself. Behind every name in the record books was a human story, some of courage and some of tragedy. Did America do enough for immigrants? Or did they do too much?